This is the second video in our series of the Complete Exterior Renovation Series. In our first video, Getting the Job Started, Greg showed us that starting a job on the home and removing existing exterior components can reveal other problems with the structure that can require a completely different approach to the job. He also showed us the beginning work to prep the exterior wall of the home for the renovation at hand. In this video, number 2 of the series, you will see the material used to secure and protect the exterior walls. These are the details which set up the installation of the stone and the stucco to last a long time, with all water management issues taken into account. A&A Masonry, an award-winning company servicing the Greater Toronto Area and the Golden Horseshoe.
So we're here on the back part of this house, and I wanted to just take a moment so I can describe to you what the procedure is with this type of stone veneer that's going to go over both a wood frame and where there's masonry on the brick part, the lower half, and when we remove the siding, it's going to be a wood frame. We could just go over it with the stone veneer and apply it directly to the brick, but when we get to the wood frame, it's mandatory that we use some sort of an air vent barrier between the stone masonry material and the wood product. Even though there's going to be Tyvek or like a vapor barrier behind there, we don't want to trap moisture in there, and it'll cause the product to rot or deteriorate quicker than we'd like it to. So we're going to use this product here that I'm standing beside, which is an air vent for mortar. And essentially what it does is it allows air, just like an attic where there's air circulating around, getting in behind the product. So the first thing is to rip the siding off. We're going to prepare the wood frame with a vapor barrier. Then we're going to attach this mortar air vent material to the wood frame. We're also going to, in this case, go right down. It's not necessarily required so much. Certainly where there's a garage where there's not a living space inside and there's the difference between hot and cold zones. But in this case, we're just going to go ahead and do the whole house with this. And essentially, again, like I said, it allows there to be air, moisture to circulate, humidity, condensation, without disrupting or deteriorating the product that we're applying to it. Once we do that, we put a wire mesh on top of there, and then we give it a skim coat, like a parge, and then we'll be able to adhere our natural stone veneer. It'll look like the house is built, but it also, what's behind it, the air, the circulation, it'll all be able to do what it's intended. The house, the wood, the frame will allow it to essentially breathe and not because of mold or something of that nature, because there's water trapped behind there. It's an excellent solution. You're going to see as this job progresses how and the techniques that they use, and that the finished product, again, we want it to look exactly as the day it was built. We want it to look like that for decades down the road, and that's the intent with this product.
In our last video, we talked about the mortar protruding from between the bricks. This is known as weeping mortar joint style and was popular in the mid-20th century. Once this mortar is chipped and chiseled off the bricks on the first story of the home and the siding taken off the second story down to the wooden walls, the layers to secure and protect the walls can now begin. The first thing the crew put up is the first layer of protection. This is the Tyvek home wrap. Tyvek home wrap is a wrap incorporating a unique material that helps keep air and water out while letting water vapor escape. As a result, it can contribute to improved building durability by helping to protect homes against damaging wind and rain that could penetrate the exterior cladding. The next layer is the air vent layer that Greg earlier mentioned. This is a 3-dimensional barrier that provides advanced protection against moisture damage in exterior wall systems. It is ideal for stucco and stone exteriors, and as a result, the wall will not trap moisture, thereby maintaining its integrity. This is suitable for use with a variety of other materials such as brick wood siding, and many other wall systems that you find in construction. After the air vent layer is applied, the crew then attach the steel lathe, which is a wire mesh, as the next layer before putting on the scratch coat. The scratch coat is the final mortar layer before the stone veneer can be applied to the home.
Now, looking at the original hall, where we had to transition our game plan on this restoration, I wanted to bring you back to the area of protecting the masonry work. We were unable to remove all the brickwork, so we had to transition and go to a stone veneer. Before we could do that, we have to protect the original masonry work from water damage. We went with a mortar air vent material, cloth-like substance, that we attached to the masonry work. We applied a metal mesh to give it strength to hold the weight of the veneer, and a scratch coat. As I bang on it, you can hear that it sounds hollow, and that is allowing an air pocket behind the new material going over the existing material. Just like an attic, it's going to be able to breathe. Any moisture that gets behind there, it'll allow it to evaporate, and it won't cause damage to this material. On the second floor, on the side and the back, we're going with stucco. Calls for a different technique. We're going with a liquid barrier to protect the plywood from the styrofoam that's going to be the next application. So we're going to drop it down to about 42 inches from the ground, which is going to be that stone skirt that I mentioned earlier. I can see the stonework coming across the front. It's going to start to look great, but we first and foremost, we want to make sure that this house is completely sealed so that these homeowners don't have any problem with the product that we're putting on, and also any moisture or any kind of humidity that's going to come into the house because we failed to protect it first and foremost.
So remember, it's important when upgrading your home that it's key to work with a top-grade contractor. You want a contractor that will put all the standard safeguards in place to keep the exterior walls of your home safe. That means not cutting any corners for cost-saving measures or any other possible considerations. That's why you put your trust in A&A and let their professionals get to work for you to make your next project the best that it can be for all the years that lie ahead. To schedule your next project, contact A&A Masonry today.